Welcome. This channel is a quiet place for books and ideas. Here, we talk about stories that stay with us. Not summaries, not ratings, but reflections. If you enjoy thoughtful reading, slow conversations, and books that ask more than they answer, you're in the right place. Let's begin. When we think about freedom, we often take it for granted. We think of it as a right, something permanent, something unquestionable. But George Orwell's 1984 asks a very different question. What happens when freedom is stripped away? The story takes place in a dystopian future, a world where a single party controls everything, thoughts, actions, even memories. The government watches everyone constantly. Big Brother is always watching. The protagonist, Winston Smith, is an ordinary man living under extraordinary oppression. He works at the Ministry of Truth, rewriting history to fit the party's ever-changing narrative. Imagine that. Rewriting the past every day, knowing the truth but forced to record lies, and knowing that any mistake, any hint of independent thought could bring punishment, or worse. Winston is not a hero in the traditional sense. He is quiet, thoughtful, and often fearful. But he longs for freedom. He longs to think for himself, to love, to hope, to feel without fear. In this world, even language is controlled. Newspeak, the party's official language, eliminates words that could express rebellion. They even try to erase the concept of rebellion itself. Orwell shows us how power can manipulate not just actions, but thought. And that's what makes this book so chilling. It is not just about tyranny outside ourselves. It is about control inside our minds. As Winston navigates this world, he begins a quiet rebellion, a forbidden diary, a secret love affair with Julia, small acts of resistance. These moments feel fragile, yet profoundly human. The book follows him as he discovers that resistance is difficult and freedom is not easily won. Orwell explores fear, love, and betrayal in ways that feel painfully real. One of the most striking things is how Orwell portrays hope and despair together. Even small victories feel temporary. Even love can be used against you. The party's control is absolute. And yet, Winston's small acts of rebellion remind us that the human spirit is not easily destroyed. 1984 is not just a story about politics or government. It is about human nature, our desire for truth, our need for connection, and our struggle for autonomy in a world that often tries to define us. Orwell writes with precision, clarity, and haunting beauty. The prose is direct, almost clinical, which makes the terror even more real. The book challenges us to ask difficult questions. How much of what we believe is truly ours? How do systems of power shape our reality? And what would we risk for freedom? Reading this book, I often felt a mix of fascination and unease, because some parts of Orwell's world feel terrifyingly familiar. The manipulation of information, the erosion of privacy, the subtle ways authority shapes thought. What makes 1984 timeless is its warning. It is not just a story of the past or a fantasy of the future. It is a reflection on the present. And it asks us to consider how much control we willingly give away. Even the small details in the book are powerful. The telescreens, the party slogans, war is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. The constant rewriting of history. Each detail reminds us that truth is fragile and must be protected. As the story progresses, Winston's struggle intensifies. He tries to find love, truth, and freedom, but the party is relentless. And Orwell shows the cost of totalitarian control in a deeply personal way. 1984 is not a comfortable read. It is disturbing.